from 2010, where Africa was growing at around 6%, we came down to 1.5% in 2016 due to the collapse in commodity prices. But since then, the continent has been recovering. The continent has been recovering, and we have now moved to 2.7% in 2018. This is just slightly above population growth, so we cannot celebrate yet. But the most important thing here is that we had expected that growth would be higher than 2.7% earlier this year. And the reason why growth is really lower than expected is because growth has been sluggish in our three largest economies. In Nigeria, in South Africa, and in Angola, despite an increase in oil prices, a decline in output in oil production has actually cancelled out, all the growth prospects, positive growth prospects that we had earlier this year. So growth in our three largest economies has remained extremely sluggish. So if you exclude these three economies, Nigeria, South Africa, and Angola, the rest of Africa is actually growing in 2018 at around 4.3%, which is roughly the level of the average growth between 2000 and 2017. So if reforms could be deepened in these three largest economies, definitely we will see a big boost in production across in growth across the continent. Now, from a regional perspective, we still have countries like Rwanda, like Kenya, like Cote d'Ivoire powering through and growing above 6% on the continent. We see a slight pickup in CEMAC countries, mostly because of an increase in oil prices. And non-resource rich economies in general continue to be those driving growth in Africa. So it is fundamental for our countries to continue on the path of economic diversification to avoid all the volatility that we see in GDP growth across the continent.